Young Jeezy, Let's Get It, Thug Motivation 101. Never heard it. There was a time in the 90s where I was in love with anything R&B and hip hop that came out of Atlanta. We're talking big rappers, little rappers, serious rappers, ludicrous rappers, white rappers, pro-black rappers. I was down with all of it. But in 2003, when Crunk and Snap started to take over, I politely declined. I didn't have anything against the music per se. I mean, I grew up on bounce and Miami bass, but I was getting older and my musical taste was changing, and this didn't really speak to me anymore. 2003 was also the year that T.I. dropped Trap Music, which is probably the last hip-hop album from Atlanta that I was really hyped about, but I didn't really consider it a different genre of music. I knew from listening to Goody Mob and Outkast that trap was slang for dope dealing, so I just considered this D-boy music, which isn't really new. But then came 2005 when Gucci Mane made Trap House and Jeezy made Thug Motivation 101. But by then I was long gone. Most mainstream rap and pop music was off my radar. I mean, I was listening to mostly Queens of the Stone Age and Block Party and Chic Luch. So why didn't I listen to this album? Well, in 2005, when most people were talking about Young Jeezy, nobody really said that he was a great rapper. They talked about his business acumen, the Snowman t-shirts, his ad-libs, and that the guy makes anthems. And this might sound weird to you, but an album full of motivational anthems didn't really interest me. So I never listened. When I first started listening to this album, it sounded pretty much exactly like I thought it would. The Shawty Red production, the hyper-capitalistic lyrics. There was nothing bad about it, but it was nothing unexpected. I never really got excited about this album until I got to And Then What featuring Manny Fresh. One of the issues that I have with Jeezy is that he talks about fun stuff, but he almost never sounds like he's having fun, which is why when it comes to Atlanta trap music, I tend to lean more towards Gucci Mane. And if you watch the Versus battle, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. But that's why I was so excited about this song. He sounds like he's actually having fun talking about his 3-car garage. And side note, if you're a rapper that doesn't know how to have fun on a Manny Fresh track, you're in the wrong business. You should give it up. The song My Hood contains a sample of T.I.'s Rubber Band Man, which sounds less like a sample and more like a knockoff version of Rubber Band Man. It sounded like Lil C, the producer, wanted to make a song that sounded like that, but he made it so close that he had to give David Banner credit. I don't know if that's the case, but it certainly sounds like it. Side note, Lil C also produced Young Dro's Shoulder Lean, which has nothing to do with this album, but it's a great song, so you should go listen to it. After you watch this video, of course. On Bottom of the Map, Jeezy has the most specific cocaine talk that I've ever heard. He says, y'all niggas get raped, you still getting oil base. And if you don't know what that means, Google it, because I'm not going to incriminate myself, but rest assured, it is very specific. The beats on Get Your Mind Right and That's How You Feel, produced by Shawty Red, uses a theremin. Probably not a real theremin, but at least the keyboard sound of a theremin. I can only think of one other song that uses a theremin, and that's Chain Heavy by Kanye West, produced by Q-Tip. But that song uses a sample from Albino Gorillas, so it's not like Q-Tip actually played a theremin. I said all that to say this. If you know of any other song that uses a theremin, let me know, because I want to hear it. The Maze sample on Talk to Him is heavenly. And it's also great to hear him talk about something other than how great it is to sell cocaine. All in all, this album is pretty great, but at 1 hour and 18 minutes, it probably could have used a trim. Absolutely. While T.I. tried to give us different facets of his personality, T.I. versus Tip, if you will, Jeezy distilled it all down to just trap anthems, and the dope boys went crazy. The thing about Jeezy is that if you were to just read his lyrics, they're not that interesting. But there is something about his delivery and those ad-libs that make anything he says sound like poetry, even when he's just repeating the same line that he just said. I would probably go back to And Then What featuring Manny Fresh, Go Crazy, mostly because of the Jay-Z verse. That's How You Feel, and Talk to Him. So have you heard Thug Motivation 101? Are you still bumping it to this day? I'm going to keep reviewing albums until I run out. Until then, I am Free Tillman, the only guy on the internet that doesn't know everything.